Hi friends, and happy 2026. This is my first practice I'm filming in 2026, so happy new year. Today's class is going to be a yummy restorative class. The theme here is really tending to the body and leaning into softness. Okay, this is actually part of a longer sequence that I did at my New Year Soft Start retreat recently, and I wanted to share a portion of it with all of you here on YouTube. So you are going to need props for this practice. If you have blocks in a bolster, that is perfect for what we're going to be doing today. If you don't have a bolster, you can use pillows or rolled up blankets. And if you don't have blocks, honestly, you could get through this without the blocks. They just make part of our prop sequence later a little more lifted, but you don't need them. You could throw in some books under there, but I think that's unnecessary. So something to act as a bolster if you don't have a bolster. Comfortable clothes, and that's it. So let's get started. We're going to start in child's pose today, a supported child's pose with the blankets or the pillows or the bolster. So for this starting posture with the bolster, we're going to do it the length of our mat, okay? And we're going to rest our forehead on the bolster in child's pose with our arms down by our legs. Okay, so we'll come down and we'll just find this supported child's pose. Adjust the props however you need them. And we'll start to take some deep breaths here. And I would love to offer the affirmation, I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to rest. Now slowly press your way out of that child's pose. Just rising up, we're going to come into a supported prone position. This is crocodile pose, but we're going to have the bolster or whatever you have under the hips and the pelvis. Okay? My bolster's a little big for this, but I'm going to go for it anyways. So you're going to crawl across your bolster, let the hips and pelvis land so that they're supported by the bolster. And then stack your hands and bring your forehead down to your hands, okay? And this is our supported crocodile. You might have to adjust, especially if you have a big bolster like me. Okay, from here, we're gonna come onto our back. So if you can just manage to roll over onto your back, we're gonna come into supported Shavasana with the bolster under the knees, or however you need to get there. Since my bolster is so big, I really need to come up and move myself around. Okay, there we go. So the bolster, as I said, will go under the knees. We're laying flat on our backs now in supported Shavasana. We'll be here for a few minutes, and I do want to take a moment to just talk about restorative yoga. This yoga is designed to fully and completely support the body so that the body can soften and relax into these postures. So we want to do our best to remove any effort in restorative yoga, and that's why we use the props. And the purpose of this restorative sequence, as I shared with the people at my retreat, is if we look at nature right now, everything is resting, everything is wintering. And we as humans, especially in the Western world, have a tendency to push through winter and immediately jump back into goals and resolutions and doing these things in the middle of winter when we should be resting and restoring and rejuvenating. And so that is the purpose of this sequence today, is to tend to the body so that it can truly restore. From here, we're going to come up to a seated posture with the legs extended long. We're actually coming into a little forward fold. So take your time as you push up, rise up. Bolster stays exactly where it is. We're just going to readjust the buttocks and the hips, and we're going to gently fold forward. So forearms can rest on the bolster. You can let the head hang heavy here. If you have a block, you could even bring it in between the knees and allow the forehead to rest on that bolster. Again, we'll be here for a few minutes. I am allowed to rest. Rest is part of the process. Okay, slowly coming out of that fold, just rolling your way up. We're going to move into 3 more postures. If you have your blocks or anything to take place of blocks, this is where we're going to use them. And they're going to make us or help us build a bolster ramp. Okay? Like I said, if you don't have blocks, maybe you could roll up a blanket and prop up whatever you're using as a bolster just a little bit on the end furthest away from you. But again, you don't have to do this. So if you just have the blankets, pillows, or bolster in front of you, that's fine. But we're going for this shape or something near it. We're going to come into a wide leg fold here. And what I want you to do is take your legs wide, bring the bolster in towards the pelvis, and then we're going to gently rub the hands together, creating a little heat, a little friction. And then from here, we are going to bring our elbows to our pillows or bolster and let our eyes rest on our hands, allowing that heat to help relax the eyes. Again, we'll be here for a few minutes. Use the breath and the affirmations to keep you anchored. Nice slow breaths here. I am allowed to rest. Rest is part of the process. And slowly pressing out of that one, taking your time. We are coming into a version of legs up the wall using this bolster. So we're just going to slowly lay back on our backs and let the legs come up onto your little bolster ramp. As long as the feet are higher than the heart, we are accomplishing what we want to do with legs up the wall. Allow the hands to rest comfortably wherever it feels good. And a few minutes here. Coming out of this one, moving into our final posture. You can take the legs off of the bolster towards the side. Coming up to a seat, we're going to rotate around and we're coming into supported fish pose. So we're going to lay back on the bolster, allow the arms to open wide, opening up through the chest. Be here for about 5 minutes. nice and slow, we're going to start to come out of this supported fish pose. Take your time as you come up. You might want to take a little counter pose, hugging the knees, and sort of coming forward. Maybe you don't need it, or maybe you do. And that is it for our restorative class. I hope that you feel as rested and easeful as I do. And I hope that you have a wonderful day, and we will practice again together soon. Namaste.